Yo, the camp in town, you can't sit down. When I come with a brown, I'm the Downs. That's what I do, like Majin Buu. Here with my girl, Katy. Shoot, she's going to sing awesome song, cause she can sing with her thong on. Yeah, work that shit. Yeah, that white girl's got that shit. And I'll pass it to Katy. Here you go. I could say it's weird, but that's a flex. Yo,
Yo, welcome to the pod. We're gonna get it real hard. We're gonna go so far. We're gonna do it every day and all night. We're gonna sing songs and eat by candlelight. Something delicious like spaghetti. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weird Flex. Welcome. Yes. Or B5O Whoa, welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay podcast, your comedy, weebs, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. The music that you've heard in every episode is by What's My Name on Instagram and Soundcloud. And, Jordan, I have a very special announcement.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
We
I bet
have
you do.
a Patreon, guys, and we have some patrons, and we're gonna say their names for you because our $2 patrons are going to be the official bringers of this episode to you, and we want to give them a shout out as promised. And if you want a shout out, you can join our Patreon too. So first one that we want to say a very big thank you to is Joseph Andrew Grinder. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
And, yes, thank you.
Best
Who's that
Joe
second
star,
one?
too. Our second one is Adrian Lionard, or Lionheart. Can I just call him
Lionheart?
Leonard.
Yeah, you are Adrian. You have the soul of a lion.
Lionheart. There you go.
We
You're like
want you to
Escanor
feel
from Seven Deadly
appreciated.
Sins. Lionheart.
Yes,
There you go.
it's perfect. And then our third patron is Carsonator TTV. Thank you so much for having such a fabulous name and for joining
thought it was
us on
Carsonator.
Patreon. Oh, Carsonator. Ooh,
Because look at the eye in the
luxurious
middle.
names.
That looks like feisty. Carsonator.
Ooh, yeah. They're really gonna take someone down on their TTV.
Yeah.
They're coming for you.
Yeah,
and
they
then
are.
last
They're
but
coming
not
for you.
least, or not last.
My
but
editor,
our,
the best guy.
Yes,
The what I
he's
am
so
of my
great.
story, what Katy is of her story, what you are of your story, and that's what you should aim to be.
Yes.
The
main
character.
You
gotta work with
we're
me,
so
Katy.
bad at being in sync. Yes,
Ah.
the main character. Thank you so much for supporting us and also for editing Jordan's videos. Hire him. He's a great
Yes,
editor.
He is. I need you to help me with a certain thing because I'm about to go off on something that male pisses me off on. But go ahead.
Yes, and we do have one more patron. He goes by the name of Jaxblade. I don't know if you've heard
Oh
of
my
him.
God, I know that guy. He lives in my house and gives me weird dreams.
Dude, he's giving us $1 a month for some reason.
Oh
What the
wow,
fuck?
dude! Do you know how much you can get with $1 for a month from a vending machine? That's like a whole Snickers, yo.
Whoa.
That's some foam
But
core. That's
Jaxblade,
expensive.
this Jaxblade guy is not in our $2 tier, so we can't give him an official shout out. But
Fine.
I just wanted to say thanks for being there, Jaxblade.
Yeah, you're
we
welcome.
appreciate you.
Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, Jax, I love you, man. I'm gonna take you on a date later tonight when we go to that special site.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I can do that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but real talk. You talking about special sites? I've been getting back into Doujins recently.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones.
And back in the day, I never really read doujins. I was a big anime fan, and usually your first jump, if you were a big Shonen Jump fan of Naruto and Bleach and stuff, usually you would assume that I would have read and seen all the porn of Naruto and stuff. But nope, back in the day, I didn't search for any of that. I read fan fictions. I read so many fan fictions, but I didn't really know what a doujin was. And so nowadays, I usually watch more hentai, stuff like that,
Right.
without characters that I really know. But I stumbled upon a Naruto X Hinata doujin after I rewatched the wedding.
Oh yeah, the wedding episode.
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
Was it the one after the wedding? Was it that one?
The doujin that's right
Yeah.
after the wedding?
Yeah, was
Honestly,
it the doujin?
there's a lot of them that take place in that time frame.
I know
and
there's
one
this
of them was.
that looked so good. It looked like it was made by the actual the artist was so good with it, and it was just Hinata bringing it it was Naruto getting it's so, and then like he like gets all serious, and then like at the end of the like the Doujin, you see just Kurama peeking like, yeah, this is some hot shit. It's just like,
oh no, I didn't see that one then,
That was
but
a
I
good
did
one.
see a really wholesome one where it was like their wedding night,
And they
and
made
they're like
love.
in the room. Yeah, they did, but like at first it's just really funny because they're both really awkward and nervous, and like they get naked and they're just like, oh god, what do I do? What do I do? Oh no, I don't want to touch you. Oh god, like pokes her boob. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Like it was so funny.
No, that's true.
Like
though.
yeah, I don't even know why I brought that up, but I have been getting very into doujins lately,
Yeah,
and
doujins
especially
are
of the
awesome.
Naruto variety, because apparently I have like 10 years of catching up to do with doujins.
Yeah, you do.
So,
There's so
yeah.
many good ones I can like send to you. I got like
Okay,
some
but
saved.
real talk, I cannot find a Rock Lee doujin.
Oh, you
I
didn't
went
see
to
that
so
Neji
many
one?
sites. No, well,
There
I
was-
don't want to see one of him with Neji. I'm
Well, there was
specifically.
one with him in 1010. Oh, dude, there
Okay,
was this
if
really
Rule
good
34 is real, I cannot find a single doujin of Rock Lee X Sakura. I can't
Well,
find
yeah,
it
'cause
anywhere.
It's trash, and you shouldn't have it.
I
She's
know,
not good for him.
I accept, but there are other trash ships out there that have fully like forced doujins, and I deserve my trashy
No, you don't.
doujin.
No, you don't.
I do.
No,
I
you don't.
deserve
No,
it.
no,
let me
no,
fap to my trash,
No,
Jordan.
no,
I
there
want
is-
it so
No,
bad.
let me tell you about a wholesome
listeners, if you
doujin.
know of
Let
one,
me-
please send it to
No,
me.
I know of 3, but I'm not going to send them to you.
Dang it,
I'm
Jordan!
not going
Where?
To send, I know of 3 right now specifically.
Let me have my
that
trashy
matter.
porn, Jordan.
There's one that I remember reading, and it was like them in the forest, and it was like after he saved her, and she was like, I'm going to repay you, and then she started to do stuff. Well, first off, they're 12 now.
Oh my god,
and
oh my
they're,
god.
they're
Wait.
kids.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I
That's
only
what-
I
you
only
fuck-
want Shippuden. I only want Shippuden. Or
Okay,
like,
they're
you know,
teenage.
adult. Like cuz the ones that I've been reading are like very adult, like, you know, Naruto Hinata,
Boruto
like,
level.
Wedding Night. Yeah, Boruto level essentially. Like
Dude, there was
there's-
this good one
yeah.
of like Rock Lee that was like adult level. It was like after Naruto the Last, and it was like
Yeah.
him and 1010, and then they were talking about Neji.
Fuck that.
And they
That's
were like-
trash.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, I know. It's just like, I know. And it's just like, hey, don't worry, you're a great person. And then she like gave him that blush look that anime girls do. And then like what happened is like they go back to the room. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go back. And like what happens is Rock Lee's in bed, and then she goes and knocks on the door, and he's just like, 1010, what are you doing? And then she like comes in and makes out with him, and she's like 10 and then like she just takes her
Oh.
shirt off and then starts
Oh.
doing it, and then Rock Lee's like got these super defined like ab muscles. I was like, fuck yeah. And then they just start going at it, and I was just like, that
I
shit
need
was
some
hot as
Rock Lee
fuck.
doujins. So yeah, anyway, welcome
But
to
you
the
don't
Weird
like
Flex, but we're talking about sex
Yeah.
podcast.
Sex is good. Sex is a
Thank
human
you
emotion.
to our patrons
Yeah.
that just had to listen to us talk about that. If you want more of us talking
Yeah,
about
if you
that,
want more of us, sign
to
up
our
for our
Patreon.
Patreon. We'll actually like voice over the.
no, we will probably not do that yet. If we honestly, if we get to enough patrons, we're at 4 right
Right.
now. But if we reach like at least $50 to $100, I was thinking of adding an extra tier where we do some really dumb stuff.
What, like,
But,
doing
like-
dojins and horrible voices?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, like silly stuff, like anything.
Oh, hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me do my Naruto. Oh my god! Sasuke!
Sasuke!
Sasuke! How could you do it, Arba? I can't do it because he's voiced by a girl.
This is like a 10-minute ad for Patreon where we just talk about porn.
Yes, porn is amazing.
And I am here for this. So yes, so last note on Patreon is $1 a month. You can just have the satisfaction of supporting us, and you'll get access to our Patreon exclusive feed. $2 a month, you will get all of that, plus you will get a shout out in the episode like our people did. And we have already made a few posts on Patreon of silly things, and we're probably going to do more. There might be some not safe for work ones because I know who we are as humans.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe go join, or maybe there won't be. I don't know. Only
Yeah.
one way to find out. Patreon.com/weirdflexbutokaypodcast. So anyway, Jordan, how are you doing besides
I'm mad.
porn?
I'm fucking mad. My
What are you
fucking
mad about?
mask that I ordered 2 months ago so I could have it specifically for a Halloween workout. My Doom mask.
Yeah.
Fucking like got delayed. Like I got
Wow.
an email literally 3 days ago that was like, "Oh, we're
Wow.
sorry, your helmet is trapped in Japan because it's too heavy to fly or something." It's just
Oh,
like I ordered this
shit.
2 months ago. Why is it
Ooh.
taking this long to get a fucking mask? And I was just like, well, I ordered this 2 months
Yep.
ago. Is there any way, like, I was just like, I was kind of fed up at this point. I was like, is there any way I can expedite the process? Like, can I, like, if I have to, can I pay someone extra to just send me the thing? Because I really would like it by this date so I could film this thing for my job. And they were like, sorry, it won't be there till next month. We can give you a refund, or we can just, like, send it out then. I'm just like, okay, fine, fuck it. And then, so, like, that just irritated me, because it was just like, I ordered it specifically 2 months ago so that it would be ready to go. And it wasn't. And it's just like, God dang it. And so, like, now I'm just going to do freaking other videos I got planned. But I'm doing a Demon Slayer video now, which is, I just finished Demon Slayer, which is really good anime. Like, surprisingly, I thought it was going to be, like, a fucked up I mean, like, there's stuff that happens that's fucked up, but it's like the beginning starts off like really just dark and like, oh yeah, this is kind of sad, but then like you get to the other characters in the show and it's just like, okay, this is freaking great. This is art. This show is beautiful. It's amazing. Like, if you're not watching Demon Slayer, it's only 26 episodes. Go bless yourself with that. It's only 26 and you won't not fall
I do
in
need
love
to
with
watch
this.
it.
Yeah. And then, like, my favorite character is Inosuke, the buff pig guy. Like, he's just so great. Like, you probably saw Jessica Nigri cosplay as him. Like, he has
did.
Yeah, with a pig head. Like, he is my favorite
queen.
character. He's nuts. I love him. And then there's one guy who's like the baby, who's like a beast at what he does, and it's just that's one of those characters where I feel like you like them, even though they're kind of a wanger. But yeah, I feel like yeah. But yeah, there you go. What about you, Miss Rocky Horror?
So, I had a pretty busy weekend. You know that Feast of Legends Wendy's thing? Like, dude, Wendy's is low-key sponsoring me? What the heck?
Dude, isn't that awesome?
Like, but I have such imposter syndrome that Wendy's could literally give me money and I would still be like, I mean, I don't know if they actually care, but they literally gave me money, y'all. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to tell you guys a story. So I was just enjoying my Saturday, playing some Stardew Valley, listening to Critical Role, like you do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I check my email and I have $120-something from Wendy's that donated to finish off my Ko-fi goal of freaking like I just needed to get to maybe $200 just to make it to where the armor I commissioned is affordable, and then I can have a little extra for spending on like the skirt and the cape and stuff. And,
right.
And Wendy's sent me a Ko-fi with a little message saying like, hey guy, or not hey guys, it's like, hey, you've always kept it fresh and we want to support you in this costume. We can't wait to see it. They did. They said that. And I was like, what? Wendy's? What?
No, they did not. No, I gotta look this up. I'm looking this up now.
I posted it.
Thanks for keeping it fresh. Shut the fuck up, Katy.
Sincerely said that. It was amazing.
Right. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I still have
keep telling the story.
screenshot.
Keep telling. Go look.
But yeah. So they sent me that, and I was like, oh my god, yes. So now, like, I have enough money for the costume. So I'm hoping that it'll happen in November, probably late November, because that's when my person that's doing my armor said that it'll probably be done by, or well, she's going to be doing the armor and it should be done maybe by mid-November. But then once I have the armor and I see how it fits and stuff, then I'm going to start doing the skirt and the cape, which shouldn't be too hard because I'm not going to do anything crazy.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, yeah, you found it?
Let me read this to y'all so you know she's not blowing smoke at her. Okay,
oh, yeah.
So this is what Wendy's, actual Wendy's, like the girl with the freckles, Pippi Longstocking.
The company.
That's Katy's sister. So they said to her, since you've been keeping it 100% fresh, oh my God, since day one, we want to buy you 43 cups of coffee. May your quest to be queen of Freshtopia, shut the fuck up, God damn, manifest into reality. Down with the ice jester. Shut the fuck up. Okay,
yes,
well,
so,
I'll give you claps for that. All right, good on you. You actually got
did
someone
it.
there.
And
there
this Sunday, I actually played the D&D campaign, Feast of Legends, with a podcast called Bards and Nobles. And that should be coming out soon. We played I think a relatively full campaign, but once I have my full costume, we might do like a part 2 just to like be badass. But yeah, that happened. It was a really fun like game, and they were really fun to hang out with. Go follow them, Bards and Nobles. They're a fun D&D podcast. How do you spell bards?
Is it Bart or B-R-D?
Oh, bard. Like a bard in like D&D is like a singer, like B-A-R-D, bards and nobles.
Is the and actual and, or is it an ampersand?
I believe it's an actual and.
Okay.
And theirs specifically is Bards and Nobles, then like the little 2 dots on top of each other, the tabletop RPG.
Okay.
Like, or a tabletop RPG. Like, theirs is really long, because I think there is another group out there called Bards and Nobles, but theirs is the really long one that specifically says tabletop RPG. But yeah, and so I guess one final note on the Wendy's thing is I'm really excited. It's happening, and in November, I'm actually going to be doing a photo shoot with someone that I know that's a really good photographer. I don't want to, like, put names out there until everything's, like, paid for and, in place. But I did start a new Ko-fi goal to raise money for the photo shoot because I want the pictures to look as badass as possible, and I want to support local, like, creators.
Are you going in the woods?
Yeah, probably. They have some really good spots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have, like, a few places that we've shot before that we might work with. Yeah, and it'll look badass. So if you would like to continue to support my Wendy's endeavors, you can just give me a Ko-fi, which is like on my Instagram. It's like in the link in my description, and I also have it posted on Twitter. And I will give you an official shout out, and you will be one of the people that supported this costume when it officially comes out. If you want to do that, a Ko-fi's just like $3, and I'm just trying to raise $100 because that's like the photography fee. And I'm really excited that this costume is potentially going to bring opportunities to advertise like people that I know in the community that are really great artists. Like I have a friend, she's doing my armor, and I love and believe in her armor work. And so I was like, I want to support you. I want to give you money to help me with this, and then when it comes out, I want to advertise you. Like I want to use this opportunity to help you. And she's never done like full commissions before. She's only made her own stuff, so she was like, yeah. So she gave me a really good rate, and we're just like working on it together. Well, she's doing like the armor work, but like she's messaging me like, hey, what do you think about this and this? And when it comes out, I'm gonna like try to blast her like, yeah, like she's awesome, go hire her because she's so good.
Right.
And then my photographer friend, like he's done a lot of good stuff over the years in the cosplay community, and I'm like, I want to support you too. Like you do great work, and like I think one of the best things about being an artist is understanding that there might be elements of something that other people do better and supporting them. Like it's kind of that mindset of like you have the same $20 bill that you just keep passing back and forth to your art friends. And that's kind of the life that I want. So yeah, if you want to put a little into my pool, that will go towards my photographer and paying for them. No one has to, there's no pressure, but it's something that I am doing since we raised the money for the full costume. And I am excited because I haven't done a big new costume in a while. Like, honestly, I think Wendy's was the last, like, full new costume that I did. Nice. And even then it was just kind of frumpy. But, yeah, that's what happens. And I'm really excited. And, heck, what else was there to talk about? I did the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was fun. Yes. But, yes, the Wendy stuff was just really fun.
The Wendy stuff is goat.
Goat. And, like, I've been really excited having, like, our Patreon up. Like, I know we already mentioned that, but it's really cool that we might have this new little platform to kind of experiment with too, right? And kind of make little posts on or do whatever. Like I had a lot of fun writing a little funny thing on our Patreon the other day
that you can't laugh at unless you go subscribe.
And like I wanted to make it like really cheap because I support a lot of creators on Patreon as well. I just do like $1 a month tiers, which is why I was like, I just want to make tiers for us that are just like really cheap. Like, hey, I want to support this thing, and there's like some little silly perks if you do. And I think we live in an amazing world right now of online content creators being able to find ways to support themselves. Yes. And I want to keep learning more about that. And it's really great. Yes. 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 Perfect. Awesome stuff. But yeah, I think that's all of the basic stuff going on with me, and I guess going on with you.
Yeah. Besides other stuff that y'all will never know about because that's between friends.
No, yes, definitely. Yes. We definitely all have our own
Katie's
personal stuff going on.
Katie's my good friend, best friend therapist.
No, honestly, yeah. Like, real talk for a sec. Like, I had a stressful situation happen recently, and, like, Jordan, if I ever call him, within, like, a few rings, he answers. Or if he doesn't, he calls me back within an hour if I have something. And I had something stressful happen recently, and he was like, bitch, I'm here. What's up? And now I feel like amazing. And he had a similar thing.
Yeah,
well, not
and
like,
I was just like,
not fully
Katy,
similar, I guess.
yeah,
But yeah.
and I was just like, Katy, I'm so sorry. I keep bringing this same thing up and up, and she's just like, hey,
But I'm
hey,
stressed,
bitch,
and
I'm
I'm
here
just like,
for you.
hey,
And I was just like, oh,
I'm here for
thanks.
you. Your feelings are valid, and you're loved, and you're gonna get through this. And you know what, Jordan? You're still standing, and so am I.
Yes.
Because we got this.
Well,
Like,
technically, we're sitting down to film the podcast.
I mean, that's true. You don't know. I could be standing.
You're lying down on the stomach recording.
Actually, I'm.
No,
Actually,
you're
I'm not.
sitting.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
I think you're
I'm
sitting.
in my.
You know what?
I'm
I'm
in
gonna
my
guess.
little
Let me
booth right
guess. Because I am remembering the second episode of Weird Flex But Okay podcast, and what happened was you were on the floor, and I was sitting next to you.
Yeah, you were sitting on your butt, and I was sitting on my tum.
Yeah, exactly.
When
So
you were
right
here, I
now,
didn't
I'm
have
guessing.
my studio.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm guessing you're sitting right now. That's my final guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Yep.
lied. You just said.
I'm just sitting in a chair, and I have my mic in front of me.
I'm standing because I have a standing desk.
Ooh, honestly, I do one day when I make a little more muns to upgrade all of my stuff. I want to have like a booth where I can stand in it, and I have like a monitor and like all that stuff. Like
And then,
that's
You
future
look at the
goals.
screen and you see like what you're dubbing over, and you see the mouth flaps moving of what you're dubbing.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, that's like
so
ADR
anyways,
is like the
you, like, see the
dream.
mouth
I've done
flaps and
ADR
stuff like that?
before. Yeah, on Kruby, we actually have done some ADR before because we want to match. Fun fact of how we do some stuff on Kruby is we take, at least for the abridged series, we take the existing animation, and instead of super hardcore editing the lip flaps, a lot of the time the dialogue will be written to kind of match pre-existing
Fascinating.
lip flaps. We will change a little bit, like, you know, if we can't fully match it, but we do
Oh,
our
shit.
best to try to make it really sync.
Wait,
And
Katy,
so,
are you there? Okay, because
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
you kind of cut out for a second. I was just like, yeah, because I
hello?
heard you go on Kruby. We do the, and then like it was just like,
Hello?
huh?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, it's fine. As long as you don't stop recording.
I didn't stop
it'll be
recording.
fine.
No, I always keep recording because this is great content for bonus material on our Patreon that you can
Yes.
get $1 for. Just a vending machine snack. You know that Twix? You want a Twix, or do you want actual content that's gonna make your day better? A Twix will hurt your thing.
Haha.
Yeah, I gotta say that. You know, I've been cutting
That's
down
true.
on sugar recently, and I gotta say I feel
Yeah.
so much better. Well, like cutting out, like if I only have it like a couple days a week, because like I'm sorry, I completely changed the tangent, but like I used to eat sugar like a lot more often, and then like I guess I switched out because I wanted to do a little fitness challenge, and I noticed like on Saturday when I had it, like it made me super like paranoid, like wait, this person no like blah blah blah, and I was just like okay, I need to cut down on that, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Well, I might not put that clip on our Patreon. I might keep that here. But at the end of the episode, we might record a little something,
Maybe.
a little silly
If I
thing.
feel like
last, yeah, if we feel like it. Because last time we did record something silly that we put on Patreon.
Yeah.
Because we're not at the point where we're doing full bonus segments yet. Like, again, once we get to a certain amount, like a patrons, then we might fully go into that.
Yeah.
But we do every now and then have some bloops or have something silly that we just put
Bloops.
up on there. So yeah, if you want to just see random silly content and then us like ranting on Patreon about silly things, you can do all of that. But yes, aside from technical difficulties, Jordan, why don't we get to our first question?
Why don't we then?
Oh boy!
Oh, Sal, why'd you go ahead
Golly
and answer
gee.
it?
All right, so here's a deep one. It comes from WooBear on Twitter. It says, "What was the turning point in your life to push you in the current direction in life?" So, like, what was like a turning point
so,
that
like, what
pushed
made
you
me
into
wanna
this
be
direction?
A personal trainer. Wait, so is this like what made me want to be a personal trainer, or what made me want to be a YouTuber?
You know, I think I'm going to interpret it as maybe naming some turning points in your life that got you to where you are. And maybe, so like for me, that could be, yes, voice acting, but that could also be like just like some big life moments that really shaped the direction that I went. Because, like, I think every now and then we do meet those situations that are not necessarily a full-on crossroad, but they definitely make you have to veer your path a little bit.
Okay, I got two then. Because
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it's like they're the springboards off each other. So, because like
Yeah,
that's what.
yeah.
Okay. So, did you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? Or like, how does this? How do you want?
Sure, I'll go. I'll say one, and then you say one, and then we can.
Okay.
We'll go from there. So yeah, I think one big turning point for me was I'm trying to think. Like with voice acting especially, I talked about it before on an episode about how someone had I'd been doing theater and a little bit of film, and so someone had reached out to me and said, have you thought about voice acting?
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked that question and said, hey, well, if you ever do, like, I'd be willing to help you, that was a big moment for me. Like, having someone that I could ask questions to that could kind of help me get started and figure out mic stuff like that. And from there, I was just like, full force, let's do this. And I just kept building on it. And I think conventions especially are a big driving force in my life. So I think the first time I went to a convention when I was 12, that really...
Sakura.
Yeah, I cosplayed as Sakura, and that really shaped, like, a lot of who I am today, is continuing that path, going to conventions. And, all right, I'm trying to think. Oh, another thing that really pushed me forward.
You responded to a tweet.
Yes, I did do that. I do a lot of responding to tweets. Responding to you on Twitter specifically,
Yeah,
definitely.
I was about to say the voice actor tweet.
Yeah. That definitely, like, shaped a lot of what's happening right now. But I wanted to say one earlier thing that really helped me. Oh, yes.
No, never mind.
Before I go
into
it.
Later.
Oh, okay. But after high school, I had been dating a guy for like 4 years, like all through high school. And we had broken up right afterwards, after being together for that long. And it like really hurt me. And it was hard. But it was like one of the best things to ever happen to me, to kind of be, not saying that you necessarily have to go through certain types of pain in order to grow, because there's certain types of pain that are unnecessary, and it's just like, you know, dude, what are you doing? But there's some pain.
I disagree. I think you should go through pain.
No, I agree. I'm saying that, like, there's some types of pain that you don't necessarily have to go through, like, for example, abuse, or like, you know, like, yeah. But there are types of pain that I think are the kind that will bring out the best in you. And I think going through that breakup of really wanting to be with someone and them just being like, sorry, fam, was one of the best things to ever happen to me, because it made me realize, well, what do I actually want? And, like, what was going wrong here? And I was single for 2 years after that. Like, I was just like, you know, I'm just going to live my life. I'm just focusing on me. I don't need men.
That's how I was with women, so I feel you.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was such a eventful time in my life, because I was like just starting college, and I was just like, all right, we're gonna do this, heck yeah. And it was, I think it was really good, because it really put me out of my comfort zone, and it just really made me internally focus on me. Because I think in high school relationships especially, it's so easy to think like, this is the end all be all, it's like it has to be like this and this. But like, even in high school, even in high school, he was like a grade ahead of me. Mm-hmm. And so when he graduated, he was already living in Atlanta, so it was long distance. So it was like already long distance. And not that there's anything wrong with long distance. 90% of my relationships have been long distance. Right. But it's good life experience, and it really projected me towards really a lot of self-discovery and figuring out what my needs and wants are instead of what someone else's are.
Yeah, because you come first. Yeah. You have to live with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I had like finally gotten to a place where I got into another relationship, it was like, oh, I'd, you know, done all of this other stuff. And even though that relationship didn't work out, like, I think that first really big breakup after dating for such a long time was really, like, I'm just talking in circles.
No, I feel you. I understand.
It was really helpful for me. And like, it's amazing how time can really show you the lessons that you didn't think you learned when you're away from a situation. Right. Because when you're in it, it's like, oh, this sucks. That's the lesson.
It's like you're in the storm. Then the eye happens, and then the storm finishes, and then like you're out of it, and then you just see it like go on. And it's just like, okay, well, I went through that, and now I'm a different person, so that's good. Yeah.
And now, like, years later, I'm like, man, I'm so happy that like that didn't work out, so that I could learn more about myself and learn about what I needed in other relationships. And now I'm in a really great one, and I'm just like, oh heck, this is awesome.
Yeah, Zach, you're so awesome, dude. I love you, Zach.
Great.
Zach, I know you're listening to this. I just want to say you're a beautiful person, and I'm glad that you take care of my bestie here, and you make sure you take care of her every single day, because I swear to God,
oh my God,
beautiful. Yeah, you go.
Heck.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Let me fucking say, I'm sorry to derail the podcast for a second. Do it.
Katy,
remind me to deck paleo for this. This motherfucker.
Oh?
Yeah, it reminded me of Deck Pale after what he DM'd me. This motherfucker. I swear.
What did he DM you?
Look what I just posted. Look what I just posted. You motherfucker. I swear to God.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna deck him. I am going to deck you, Dolphin Boy. Freaking, I swear to God. All right. Anyways,
that's amazing. Are we gonna tell our listeners what was just said?
No,
to you
we're
by
not
Paleo?
going to tell listeners. You will have to just imagine what he said, but you already know. So anyway, yes, yeah, I'll get that motherfucker. I'll get you, Dolphin.
We all have
Boy.
our evil secrets.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, yeah. Okay. Well, for me.
Yes,
I remember there were 2 turning points. The first one was I saw the movie 300. No, actually, hold on. So there's 3 parts. So because people always mix up my origin story and it's funny, but like, okay, so when I was a kid, I was inspired by Goku to get stronger because I was being bullied and messed about, and I wanted to get stronger. So I went and did like push-ups and sit-ups every day, but I didn't know how to get actually stronger. Then it wasn't until 300 that I saw like these fucking jacked ripped dudes and stuff like that fighting Spartan armor, and I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then like I had this mentality that I will never have a girlfriend if I don't have abs, so I have to go get abs. So I started going to the gym, and then like I met my friends at the gym, and then we started going out, and I fell in love with fitness, and I was like, oh my god, I love working out and I love fitness. And then a bunch of people noticed I was making some good gains, and they were like, hey, can you help me out? And I was like, oh, sure. So I started going to the weight room, and I was one of the big dogs in the weight room. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me tell you this, how you do this. And I really figured out I really love to help people with fitness. So that's when I became a personal trainer, and I went to school, studied for it, got my degree, got my certifications in like 3 different things. And I was like, yeah, I love fitness and this. Now, I'm saying that as a springboard for my other thing. Back in 2010, I moved to Maryland from New Jersey. And New Jersey was where I had all my friends. They lived close to me. It was like a perfect cul-de-sac moment. But I didn't have money to live on my own, so I had to move with my folks. So I was like, okay, fine. So I moved there with them. And I moved, and it took me a while to make friends. Like, I got a really good friend, like ZJ. He's a good friend. So if you ever listen to Z, love you, bro. But like, he worked with me at Burger King. But I started working at Burger King full time. Didn't really have friends or anyone to talk to. I was also going to college full time, so just was always busy working. And I was also doing PT work on the side. And I was just like, okay, I guess this is my life until personal training takes off. And I can use personal training as just like I wanted to have like a 9 to 5 with personal training where I go into work and then, you know, just train people and get on my day. But then I found this one particular show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which just lit a creative spark in me, because I was like, why do I love this show? And I remember specifically, this whole fucking thing. It was May 11, 2011, and I was watching it, and I saw this little clip of Fluttershy screaming. She was like, I am so frustrated I can just scream. And I thought it was going to be a big yell, and it was just like a little and I was just like, huh, that was cute. And then like I was just like, okay, let me look up another thing. And then like it was another clip of her going, you rock, woohoo. I was just like, this is fucking cute. And so like I started watching it, and I was just like, you know what, I think I'm gonna watch an episode. And then I remember it took me a while to like actually go like, I think I'm gonna watch an episode. And then I finally watched it, and I was just like, okay, that first episode is a 2-parter, so I have to watch episode 2. And then episode 2, they had the whole thing with like Pinky starts singing, when I was a little filly and the sun was going down. And I thought it was going to turn into like, yeah, let's all sing a song. But Twilight's just like, tell him she's not. Tell me, this bitch is crazy. We're in the fucking trying to find a nightmare horse, and she's singing a damn song. And that cracked me up. I rewound that scene like 12 times. And I was just like, okay. And so I watched it. And then all of summer 2011, I kept rewatching that entire show. And I don't know why. Like, it was just addictive. Like, I felt a need to watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic every single day.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, like, it happened to a lot of people. I don't know what it was. And so, after that, I met Paleo. And Paleo, even though I'm going to punch you hard, was the catalyst of all my friendships that I know today, and why I started getting creative, because I met a lot of people who are being creative on YouTube. And for me, on YouTube, I was just a viewer. I was just like, I'm just a viewer. I'm not going to do anything. I like to watch people on YouTube. I can't do anything on YouTube. And then like, I just started putting myself out there. And then, it took a while, but I grew, and it's just like, I'm near 350k subs now, so that's pretty cool. So it's just like, yeah, if it was not for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, I would not be YouTubing. So yeah, there you go. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is the reason I do YouTube videos. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story before too.
Yeah.
Especially when we were all at the con, or like when we were at MomoCon and we were just watching old videos.
Yeah,
like...
that was the first video of Paleo I ever saw when he was doing that book. That was good. I'm not going to punch him as hard now, but I'm still going to punch him hard.
Yeah, you're just like in nostalgia mode now.
Yeah, I'm going to
love
you know what,
Paleo.
I'll tap him on the head. I'll give him like a...
You'll just give
him
a
a
head
toff
tap.
slap. Yeah, toff
Isn't
slap.
aren't him and Saber like having like super slumber parties right now or something?
Oh yeah, they were. Oh, did you hear the story of what happened between Saber and I want to make this super quick.
Oh no!
But oh my god, so this is such a good story. So I remember.
I need it.
This was if you heard the podcast where all of us were reminiscing about My Little Pony. Oh my gosh. So what happened was Paleo and Saber, they met you go listen to the full thing. It's on Paleo Steno's channel. Paleo Steno, go subscribe to him. But like it's on his channel. And Saber and him started talking about how they met, and originally Saber didn't like him at first because he thought he was stealing his idea, but then they met and he was being two-faced at first, like, oh, I'll be friends with him just to get back him, but then he was like, oh, I actually like this guy. And so like what happened was so they started talking for like hours on end. And so like there was one week where Saber had to go out of town, and then he came back and was like, oh, I missed my Paleo time. And what happened was they started talking so often, and since Saber had just got out of college, like he was like, am I gay? I think I really like this guy. So like, he said it, and he talked to his sister, and he was like, what do you like? It's just like I really like him. I don't know. So Saber was like saying like he thought he was gay, and so he's straight as fuck, by the way. So it was funny, but it's just the way.
Definitely.
And so he brought it up. And it's just like, yo man, because he knew Paleo was bi, and he was just like, yo man, would you ever do that? And Paleo was just like, no. She's just like
rejected.
And so
Holy
like
fuck.
That whole story brought me to tears. I was just like, you just talked to someone for so long, you think you love them. It's just like,
oh wow. Well, honestly, when I heard like a piece of advice for finding relationships recently, that it seems obvious, but it also seems too simple. And apparently, to find the perfect relationship, you just have to find a best friend that you want to fuck. And apparently, they had half the equation, but Paleo didn't want to fuck him.
Yeah, I remember Paleo telling me that, because there's the thing about, I'm sorry, we're turning to Paleo, but this is my friend, I have to talk about it. But like, I remember the first time like I found out Paleo was bi, I was like, okay, cool. And then like he was talking about like, I'll tell you something, I remember we were all talking in the call, and it's just like, hey guys, none of you have to worry because I'm not attracted to any of you. And then I was just like, what the fuck do you mean you ain't attracted to I'm not good enough for you? And so like I started doing like these thoughty pictures. This was back in like 2015 or 16. I was like, I started taking all these thoughty pictures to try to arouse Paleo. I was just like, is this good enough for you? Is this good enough for you? Yeah, and
he's just like, meh.
Nah. He's just like, you're not my type. He likes.
You're not my type.
He likes what are they called? Like, this is not a derogatory term. I learned this. He likes twinks, like guys who are like feminine,
or maybe metrosexual.
I guess he likes guys who look
very effeminate.
Yeah, effeminate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there. And I was just like, I'm too manly for you.
No, that's fair. Actually, funny enough, when we were all in Discord the other day watching the Steven Universe movie again, so Hero could watch it. And he sent like we were having a conversation about like a tweet that I had seen where it's like your favorite character.
Oh, you want to fuck?
In any show. Yeah, they're only your favorite character because you either want to fuck them or you want to be them. And so we were trying to figure out the validity of this, and we were all sending like pictures of our favorite characters, like, I don't know if I want to fuck them or be them. I just kind of want to be their best friend. And but then Paleo, I think, sent a picture of someone from Pokemon that has like green hair.
That guy from Pokemon with the green hair that Ash is Kamehameha.
Yeah, he was like, I'd do that, and I was like, you're right. You could cosplay him too. You could be him. Like, you could fuck yourself.
Yeah, like you do every night.
That is actually something that I think is interesting, because I am straight, and so when Yeah, so when I see the female body, I think it's beautiful and great. And, like, when I look at myself, sometimes I'm like, hell yeah, you got this, bitch. But, like, I'm never, like, aroused by just the female body. Like, there has to be a dick there. Like, there has to, like...
Well, you know what they say, Katie. Spaghetti is straight until things get steamy.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said
but,
that,
like,
and I love that.
But I wonder if, like... Like, because it would be interesting to see things from the perspective of someone who is a different sexual orientation than I am, and to be able to see, like, see my body and see it in a different way of, like, oh, wow, like, I am attracted to my body, not just I like my body. Like, that would be a cool perspective if we had one of those, like, I was listening to a D&D game one time, and I don't remember which one, but, like, there was an item or something where... Oh, wait, no, it wasn't a D&D game. It was a movie that probably... I can't remember what it's called. But they had a weapon where you could shoot it, and instantly whoever shot the weapon and whoever you shoot, the person that they shot can instantly see things from your perspective.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the specific thing.
It's the movie with, like, the rats take over, and, like, they're traveling through space.
Shit. God,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
Not Neverending Story. It's the ones with the dolphins, like, and thanks for all the fish.
Sounds
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
It has, like, the quote with, like, 42 is the answer to the universe.
Oh, yeah. I can't, like, pin place it. It's
as something as far as the galaxy. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie. But, yeah, and I was like, you know, that'd be really interesting to see things from different perspectives. Not just, like, you know, for the basic reason of understanding your fellow humans, but also very specific things, being able to understand those things. Because there's lots of concepts, I think, that, like, I understand in theory, but, like, you can never truly experience. But that's what, like, empathy and sympathy are for. Like, you may not be able to truly understand something, but you can understand that it might be a shitty thing they're going through, or it might be a great thing that they have. And so you should let them enjoy that as long as they're not hurting somebody. But it would be cool to be able to, like, experience it, I guess.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But you can't, but there's certain things you can't change about yourself. Like, I can't make myself not straight. Like,
well, until things get steamy.
Until things get steamy. But yeah, it was just like a thought that came to me. But yeah, Paleo, hella bye. And I love Paleo. He's so funny.
Yeah,
like,
he's so funny.
Whenever we're on Discord, he'll just send the best memes, and it makes me so happy.
Check this out.
Check this out. So
you
great.
laugh like that.
God damn it. I love his laugh.
Yeah,
like,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just going off on Paleo right now. I love him. He's such a pure soul. Not pure in that he doesn't talk about not safe for work things, but pure in that, like, not pure at all. But, like, his sense of comedy is so great.
Did Hero ever tell you the meal thing he liked?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not going to say it right now, but it's going to be next time we're all in call. I just ask him about it, and I just want to be there for it. But I have to be there for it because I want him to explain it. It is so beautiful. Okay, anyway, I think we've destroyed this question.
Yeah, so let's get our next question. Why don't you ask it?
This is from Jesse Maldonado, or Maldonado, whatever. I'm sorry, Jesse. Thoughts on divorce? I only mention it because today is the final day for me. Final day for mine.
I do actually have some thoughts on divorce.
Funny enough, Paleo and Saber's parents are both divorced, so they always make jokes about it, and I always feel like, oh, should I laugh? Or you're like, oh yeah, it's fine. We always do.
Yeah. Like there was a comedy bit that I heard a long time ago. I don't remember who it was by, but I thought it was really funny and true, and I think it kind of helped frame my mindset on it. In that, like, if someone just says that they got a divorce, you shouldn't say, oh, I'm so sorry. You should say congratulations, because now you're not in that bad situation anymore. Because if someone is dating someone and it got to the point where they needed a divorce, that must have been a terrible situation. They must have been very unhappy. They must have not been doing well together. And I would rather not be in a shitty situation than be in, like, this terrible place. Like, I would rather not be stuck in a hopeless, like, sad situation where every day I'm feeling that. Instead, just cutting it off divorcing or, you know, maybe breaking up, but divorce is like the next level of that because you made like a big commitment, so the stakes they probably feel higher.
Right.
Like, I think divorce should be I mean, obviously it's going to be bad because, you know, you're going to be sad. Like, obviously those feelings are valid, but like it's normal and fine to, if you're in a bad situation and you get out of that bad situation, that is a good thing.
Agreed.
Yes, like that ride or die stuff, like I have in my life been ride or die with some stuff, and like especially in relationships in the past, there are situations where I probably put up with things that I shouldn't have because, you know, gotta make it work. Oh sure, this person probably makes me feel like shit sometimes, but you know, like I've made this commitment and gosh darn it, I'm going to stick by it because it's not that bad. And then you keep pushing the line back. Not that I was with someone that was like abusive or anything, but you know, you can start to tell when you're unhappy and when something needs to change, but you're afraid to say something or change it out of fear of rocking the boat or whatever. And that's just not the way I live my life anymore.
Right.
Like, and I'm just so happy that I went through what I went through so that I could see that that's not acceptable.
Right.
Settling is not acceptable. Like,
No,
you should be with someone that loves you and that you love. And like, yes, obviously things aren't going to be 100% perfect, but your definition of perfect or your definition of good or this or that can vary from person to person. And like, while one person might not want this type of relationship at this time might be perfect for you. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're miserable, get the fuck out of there.
Right.
Like there's going to be definitely down times for sure. Like, but that can be like on an individual basis. But as long as you're there to help each other, that's what's important. But if someone is actively making you feel like shit, fuck that person. Get out of there. Divorce. Great. And yeah, that's my perspective.
No, I agree.
Divorce.
Everything you said was like, because yeah, you guys have you actually been in relationships. So like for me, it's just like, I agree wholeheartedly. Like I've only had hookups, folks. I haven't had a girl to call my boo, as I would say. But like, yeah, it's just, I wouldn't, like if something was like bad for both parties or like you feel obligated, like you should never feel obligated to like stay with someone. Like you should just be like, okay, we're together. So yeah, I agree with everything Katy just said. So, and I hope things work out for you. Stay strong.
Yeah.
Start working out.
Yeah,
like
and I hope that you're
beautiful.
getting, to a better place. I hope that maybe this was something that was needed and that will help both of you grow. And if it was more of a one-sided thing, I hope that you will heal and understand that if someone that you were with didn't treat you the way you needed to be treated, then it's better that you're getting rid of them now.
Exactly.
And you have your whole life to be with someone or to love someone or to be friends with someone. So there's no rush in that process. Like if you never become friends or this or that again, then it doesn't happen. If it does, it will. If it's meant to be, as cheesy as it sounds, it'll happen. You'll both make the effort. And I know that there can be situations that can make divorce or breakup more rocky, like children or finances are especially like.
Yeah, because like
There's
especially if
lots
you
of
didn't get a
situations.
prenuptial or something like that. So.
Yeah. Because I know that a lot of people have different reasons for being in relationships too. There's a multitude of types of relationships. Like, because some people, like, there's more of like a stability aspect, whether that's emotionally or financially. There can also be that element of like sexual level and that can include like poly, non-monogamy, or it can just include like regular. And I know I've had discussions with people that are poly or non-monogamous, which are relatively different depending on the situation. I know that sometimes it's joked about in those communities that baby's first poly is when you're married and one partner or the other says, hey, I want to try things with this other person, and they just put up with it because they're like, oh, I want to keep this person, so I'm gonna let them do that. But in actuality, that's gonna hurt you, because if you're not made for that type of relationship and you're just afraid of losing that person already seems to be changing in a direction, and you kind of both need to be on the same page. And that was a conversation I had with someone that's poly and has been for a long time, and kind of them discussing like how going into those types of relationships you have to be very open, honest, and communicative about, where you are. And a lot of the good, I guess, quote unquote good poly or non-monogamous relationships start from you both being in that place instead of both starting out monogamous. I personally haven't met a lot of people where it's worked out long term for situations like that. Not to say it's not possible, but based on the people and experiences that I've known to be in those relationships, I've seen a lot of negativity. But I do think that it is possible for different types of dynamics to work.
Right.
But yeah, whatever your situation is, I know we're not talking about that. Yeah, communication. Because that's the easiest thing that can go wrong with any relationship, but especially those very more broad relationships, is like you have to be very upfront and honest about your feelings. And yeah, monogamy is not for everybody. Straightness isn't for everybody. But yeah, sometimes it can work for other people. And as long as you respect boundaries and you're open and honest from the beginning as much as you can be about what your needs and wants are, and figuring out what they are for yourself too, can really help you. Because it's easy to go into a relationship, especially in high school when we're all just a bunch of dumb fucks, and just be kind of like, hey, I don't really know what I want, but I don't want to be alone. And so you get into situations where you're just like, this is fine, and then you end up unhappy. And I've seen a lot of high school sweetheart situations like that where they're divorced within a year because they didn't really understand who they were. So if you're young and you're trying to figure out what you need, really take some time for yourself. And if you're in a relationship, having boundaries doesn't make you a bad person. Having boundaries doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you undesirable. It actually makes you more desirable, because if there's somebody that I know and they have limitations and they have things that are important to them, that shows me that they will treat me with the respect that they treat themselves with. And yeah, it's really important to understand yourself, and it also shows that you are willing and able to understand others if you can set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
Yay, talking.
There you go. Yeah.
Divorce.
Yes.
We've only answered like 2 questions, but man, we're going off today.
Yeah, we are. And this other one's probably going to be another deep one too.
Yeah, this is really deep. Oh, heck, yeah. Oh, man. We only have 2
we
more
have
questions,
a fun
but we
question
can do it.
as a final one.
We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yes, it'll be good. So yeah, why don't you ask this, or should I ask this next one?
Well, it came from my friend, so I should feel like
Oh, yeah,
I
it did.
should.
Yeah, you do.
It came from my bro, Michael, who I hope you're training
Bruh.
hard, bro. You're doing good. This is qualities of a person. Okay, he asks quality of a person who can be a good person that makes you dislike them. So I'm assuming this is based on, because we had a talk about this like a while ago where it was like someone can be like, for all intents and purposes, like a good person, like they do no wrong, but like there's something about them that you just don't like, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. We talked about something similar before on the podcast, but not I don't think the exact.
No. What we didn't like before was like a personality trait that you didn't like, and this is, I guess, sort of like, I guess partially, but I think I have a different one now because from therapy, I learned this about myself, where like I would get irrationally angry at this, but it was because I used to see myself like being this way. And I don't like seeing it in other people because it's a reflection of what I used to be, and it makes me just like upset.
Yes.
So like for me, oh, by the way, people, let me read you a phenomenal quote I got from my therapist, which is, don't pretend that your negative emotions don't exist. Instead, analyze them and investigate why they're coming out so you can understand the root of their existence. So for me, a thing that always like to me, I'm more in control of my emotions from meditation and just like various other things, but like it still just always like rubs me the wrong way, is when someone just goes like, oh well, I wouldn't be in this thing, so I don't have to worry about it. So for example, last time I got angry at someone was because we were talking about swimming, right? And I was like, oh, swimming's great. And they were like talking about, oh, I don't know how to swim. And I was just like, oh, dude, you should learn. It's pretty fun. And it's just like, nah, I don't see no point in doing that shit. Like, I'm never going to be in the situation water. And I just like, but you go to pool parties, man. So like, what if you fall in the deep end? It's just like, shit, guess I'll die. And shit like that. That defeatist mentality of, this situation would never happen to me. So I'm never going to like focus on, like, to me, like that reminds me of when I was like, I intentionally was like, oh, I don't have to worry about doing this, and it would like, something about it eats me up, because it's like I'm seeing, all right, so you're intentionally letting yourself be weak here for something like that. And that just like, it got my blood boiling to a point, because it's just like, so there's something very simple that you can learn, how to swim, and you don't want to learn how to, because like, and it's just like that, like to me, I'm just saying, like, I was projecting like my old self, like saying, and I was just like, okay, I don't like, or like another one, like I remember having a talk about this with someone, and again, this is just me, people. I'm like, I'm putting all my like personal issues out there, people. So like people listening to stuff like that, it's just like, okay, for instance, like I have no problem with like someone who doesn't know how to like do martial arts or fight, whatever. Like that's completely fine. Like again, you know, it's not for everyone, stuff like that. But then like when they're just like, oh, I could learn it because it's right there, but I'm never going to, because I would never be in that situation, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, sometimes that situation finds you. Like, what if someone broke into your house and did this, and just like, oh, I guess I die. And it's just like, I don't like that I give up mentality so fast. Like that to me is just like, no. Like,
yeah, and it's really about the way that they can say it too, because I think it is valid that you can't learn everything.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, there's like infinite amount of stuff to learn. So if you just say like, oh, you know, I don't think I'm going to focus on that right now. Maybe one day, but I just don't think that's for me. That can be a thing. But it is also okay to have limitations. Like, for example, like I've skydived before, but like I don't think I want to do it again. And honestly, if I had never done it, like I think it would be okay for me to say, you know, that's not really something I want to do. But there's certain life skills where it's just kind of like, you know, maybe not right now, but I see the value in it. It's just kind of about how you phrase it. Because it's
if
okay
you phrase
to
it,
not
like,
want to learn everything. But
yeah, because I understand that. Because like the whole thing with me was like, okay, I get it. Because like I think, okay, yeah. So this is what it is for me. Like as a kid, I this is why I project. So this is why I noticed this. Like I was able to break down and find why I project this way. All right. So as a kid, I could have learned martial arts, but I didn't start taking martial arts seriously until I was like a teenager or stuff like that. And so like when I was a kid, I was just like, oh well, you know, I don't need that or something like that. Then in middle school, I used to get beat up and like fucked up every single day for like bullies and shit like that, and I was just like, I let myself get like go and be like lazy and stuff like that. And then like a part of me always thought like if I hadn't have stopped training, I would be able to defend myself, and I would have been ready for those situations where I wouldn't have to like deal with like the torment of my tormentors. So like a part of me gets like irritated. It's just like, no, you can protect yourself, you protect this and stuff like that. So like that's what I'm like digging down to my stuff right there. Like that's why I recognize that for myself. Where I go like, no. I could have been stronger. I should have been stronger in this situation. So like I think that's why I was making jokes about this the other night, but like in the Steven Universe movie, they had this whole thing about like and Gohan did this too. In fucking Dragon Ball Z, Gohan did this too. Where it was like, you have the power to protect like people, but you like got lazy with it, and now like someone else is like, who, you know, you think like, oh, the world's great, comes along and fucks you up, and it's just like, oh well, this shouldn't be happening, I'm good. It's just like, well, sorry buddy, you should have been, you know, focused on this. Like same thing with like DBZ, like Gohan could have like saved the planet, but then the whole planet fucking dies, and it's just like, well dude, if you had just, you know, actually spent time like training and stuff like that, focusing, you could have like didn't like saved your family and friends and all that shit. And it's just like that to me, like in the spiritual core sense, like I guess like mentally mentally I know for a fact that I'm projecting myself as being like, I let myself
because there
be
is
weak.
a level of it's okay to not make it your priority.
No, I get it.
Like,
no, I understand that for
and,
some
like,
people. No, I'm talking about myself. Like I'm saying like why I get upset about that, because I'm able to identify it, is like the fact that like, no, like that whole idea of letting yourself just be weak in the situation, when that like it just that like would always get like a thing going in me where I would just be like, okay, no, fuck, and then like, you know what, whatever, like that's what it was.
It's like something that's specific for you.
Yeah. That's why I'm talking like for me. So like, because I remember I also heard like thing. It's just like, like what I heard this from because we were talking about, it was the Joe Rogan podcast that brought it up, and it was just like, because it's like you see that weakness in someone, and then you project it onto yourself, and you don't want to be that way, and that's why you get like heated at them for it. So like that's why I always just focus on myself and do my own thing and thankfully meditation, very, very great for me. So like, yeah, there it is. So like that's why I do a thing. But like, Katie, I've been talking enough. What about you? What is something you have?
Okay, yeah, but that was actually really, really cool to like hear that about you. But I think one for me, and I think this question is kind of looking for the things that might just be specific to you and could even be like irrational in a sense, because it's not that it's not okay for people to be this way. They can be however they want, but it's something that to you personally makes you like, maybe this person isn't for me. And I think one of those things is when people self-identify as like, oh, I'm just an asshole, but like to the point where to where it's like this is just how I am, like I'm an asshole, and not in like the sense of like, when I need to be an asshole, I'm an asshole, because I get that, like sometimes you have to be able to stand up for shit, but like I've been in situations where I'll just be like I was somewhere recently where I was talking to a cast member for something. It wasn't the Rocky Horror Picture Show, it was another thing that I was in, and we were just talking about like working behind the scenes on stuff, and I was like, man, as long as like you're not an asshole, like I'll think you're pretty cool. And like one of the people there was like, oh yeah, but like I am an asshole. And I was like, oh well, I mean, you seem pretty nice to me, and I'm trying to throw them a bone, like, oh, you've been pretty cool. And they're like, oh no, man, I'm a total asshole. And I'm just like, what the fuck, like,
right?
I just want to have a nice conversation. You're here saying like, oh yeah, I'm an asshole, like I suck, like I'm so mean, and I'm just like, oh okay, like I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like what the fuck, like I'm just like, there's moments. It's about the communication.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
moments
No,
where
agree.
it's important to be like stern, and maybe somebody will think you're an asshole. But like if you just go around saying like, that's right, asshole. I'm a bitch, like it rubs me weird. Like cause you truly, there's no way you truly believe I'm a bad person and people don't like me, and it's because of something that I refuse to change. Like I don't know, that just feels wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I get that. Or like something else that recently like I found irks me is where I do like, okay, like for instance, if it's always, can you do this for me, and then like instead of like, oh, I'm not gonna help you here, but can you do this for me? Oh, I can't help you with that, but can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?
Yeah.
And it's always like that whole thing of like I take notice of this certain thing of where it's like oh, would you mind if I left this stuff here, even though it'll be an inconvenience to do this like later on? Like a part of me is like, no, do it, and then they do it anyways. I'd be like, well, now I'm upset because you did that, and it's just like, well, why are you upset? And it's just because I told you, like I specifically said no, and then it's just like, I'm not always gonna do the thing, for you. Like it's just like, oh, can I room here? No, it's like, oh, I have no one else to room with. Well, sorry, pal. It's just like, I got enough space here. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to come and try. And it's just like stuff like that. It just, I don't know, if I notice if something is more of a take, and it's always, can I get this? Can you help me with this? Can I get this? And it's like, it's very, very one-sided. Nowadays, that like really just like grinds my gears. And I'm just like, no. You do this yourself. It's just
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think one that I've covered in the past is someone that's like a little bit too like exaggerative or cocky about things when I think they should be humble, especially when it's something that can potentially affect me. Like when it comes to like voiceover and stuff, because I've had friends that I've worked with on projects that like, when I'm talking to maybe someone professional, they might be there and then they'll say something that's like kind of true but not really, to make themselves sound really big. And then I'll be like, it kind of rubs me wrong.
Right.
Or like they'll exaggerate, like, oh yeah, I'm best friends with this person and this person, in a situation where I feel like you're just trying to like say you're friends with somebody. Yeah. And like, there's a fine line, because of course there's nothing wrong with if you're friends with somebody and you want to talk about your friend, of course, like that's fine. But there's certain situations where you I think that it's not quite what they're saying. Especially when it almost is borderline lying.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously they could still be a good person and just be a little exaggerative at times. But like, it just, it grinds my gears. Or like if they say things that are easily disprovable, right, and they irrationally stick with them.
Yeah,
like,
that shit irritates me too.
Yeah. Like, because one time it was such a silly small thing, but it just got under my skin, and I was like, I don't like this person. I mean, I still have to work with them, and I'm gonna treat them with respect, and like, of course. But I was just like, I'm just gonna low key like move myself over here,
right?
Like, because we were working on something together, and I sent them an email to say, like, or no, I sent them a text. I sent them a text to say, like, hey, you know, I've got this covered. Like, do you have this element covered? And they didn't reply. And so I was like, oh, well, I'm trying to do my job. I need to make sure that I know that you got this element covered.
Right.
And so when I see them at the team meeting the next day, like, the whole meeting, I don't bring it up, like, because I'm just assuming, like, oh, maybe they'll bring it up. And at the end of the meeting, I just say, hey, did you, like, get my text? I just wanted to make sure, like, that you got your half done for this thing. And they said, you didn't send me a text. And so I pull out my phone and I start saying, oh, well, actually, I think I did. Like, I didn't start being a dick or anything. I wasn't like, yes, I did. I just say, oh, well, maybe you didn't get it. Here, I'll check. Like, I'm pretty sure I did. And so I look through and they kind of start panicking and they say, oh, well, maybe you did send a text. And like, and they say that right before I pull it up and I go, yeah, see, here it is. And they go, yeah. And then they change the subject, and I'm like, what the?
Oh, fuck that. Fuck? I would have been like, no, we're here now. We're here now,
like,
bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Don't try to get out of here.
I'm not trying to put you in any weird situation. I'm just trying to do my fucking job. Like, if you want me to do your job, okay, but that's fine. But, like, just communication. Like, if there's certain elements of bad communication that just, like, riff me the wrong way. And you can be a great person, you can be busy, and there can be situations where it's fine. But it's just like, come on, man, like, don't die on a hill like this, my dude. Like,
yeah, just like fucking
it was just a text message.
Just
like,
man up and do it.
Yeah, when they're just trying to, like, make you feel smaller for no reason. Like, for no reason. Like,
that's
an unnecessary asshole. Like, just, it's simple, man. Just communicate. Just be like, oh, sorry, I didn't do it. Or like, oh, sorry, I didn't have time. Or like, or just reply to the text like, got it, and then bullshit your way until it's done. Just, I don't know. Because I've done that before. I've, like, if I got, like, an email or something like, hey, have you finished this? And if I haven't even started on it yet,
I've done that too. I'm just like, I've got, like, 5 bits of it done. I'll send the rest of it.
I'll have it done tomorrow. And, like, as long as it's done by the deadline, I don't care what, like, you tell me.
Exactly.
But if it's not done by the deadline, then we're gonna have some problems. But
exactly.
Like, and so those are the situations that I'm
agree.
just like, why are you making this so unnecessarily, like, complicated?
Yeah, exactly. I fucking hate that shit. I really, like, that's one thing, like, I'm glad, like, I would say, like, post 25 Heartbroken Jax has become, like, a different animal in the sense of just, like, very, like, doesn't take shit. Where it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna fucking talk this out now. It's like, no more. No. What's going on here? No, it's just like very firm and in the position of that. So I understand that completely of just like, no. You just lied to my face.
I have one more trait that it's very personal to me probably, but maybe there's some women or some men out there that can relate. So I was on a set like 2 years ago, and I just remember it because it just made me like, what the fuck, dude? And this guy walks in, and like I'm doing my job. Like, I'm on set doing my fucking job. Like, I have work to do. And he comes up to me, and he's like doing some type of work on the set too. And he's just like, hey, like, you know, what's up? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, you know, doing my work, like you do. And I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna have like a nice conversation here. And all of a sudden, the conversation, he kind of gets this pompous attitude of like he knows more than me about set life or whatever.
Right.
And then I just start being like, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm just doing my job, and like, oh, cosplay and this and that, because he asks like, you know, what are my hobbies and stuff, and you know, I'll answer them, but it's almost like he's drilling me or something, like trying to see what my value is.
Oh yeah,
like,
I fucking hate that. So it's like, what did you do?
Yeah, I don't quite know how to describe it, except, like, you can just tell when there's a certain way someone's talking to you, and whenever you answer their question, they don't really respond to what you say, but they just kind of try to one-up it a little bit. Like, they're just kind of like, oh, interesting. Well, like, yeah, I this, and this, and this. And then also, like, what else? Like, I'm trying to remember specific things that he said, because there was just this vibe, and like this way he was looking at me too, just like this pompous smile of like, oh, you do that, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just trying to work. Like, I didn't need this. I didn't try to come up to you. I'm not trying to like start anything. I'm just doing my job, and yeah, I cosplay and do all this fun stuff, and it's cool. And he's just like, oh yeah, well, like. And I think at one point he attempted to flirt with me, but I couldn't tell because it was such a mix mash of like, I don't know what you want from me.
Right.
Like, because he just had this attitude of like, he was so far above me and I should feel happy that I'm talking to him. And I don't know who the fuck this dude is.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like, it was, yeah, like, I guess it's not
What's
one
his
of those
name?
situations
Put it
where
out
you
there.
can. No, I don't no fucking clue. I never spoke to him again. But, like, or actually, no, I think I did speak to him again because we were on another thing together. And oh my God, he just sucks at communicating. I'm just going to go off on this guy. Because, like, I was, I won't say his name because I honestly don't remember it, but I was on another film with him. And I was in charge of, like, some costume stuff. And so, for him specifically. So I was told to, like, just message him and be like, hey, like, it's a little indie film. We're just going to go through maybe some outfit ideas. Could you send me, like, 3 or 4 shirts that you have, and I'll just pick one and see which one looks best. I have to send him a message, like, every fucking day that week leading up to the film because he'll just keep responding with, oh, yeah, I'll do that tonight. The next day comes. He doesn't do it. And I'm like, hey,
I'll do that tonight. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I fucking hate
yeah.
people
It just,
like
that kept fucking happening. And, like, he wouldn't even acknowledge, like, oh, sorry, I couldn't do it last night. He would just say, cool, I'll do it tonight again. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he would leave me on read. And the day of, he still hasn't sent me any outfit ideas. Like, you're in this film. Dude, we need to fucking do this. And so we get to set, and he just brings, like, 2 outfits. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go with this outfit. And the person that was in charge of me, that wanted me to decide on the outfits, was like, oh, yeah, that's a good outfit. Like, Katy, like, what did you decide? And I was like, I wanted so hard to just be like, he wouldn't goddamn answer me. And I was just like, it's fine. Yeah, I think that looks good. But internally, I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm trying to do my job. Like, I don't care what you're doing with your life. I just need to do my job. And if you're going to work with me, communicate to me just once. Just say, hey, here's 2 fucking shirts. It's fine. And I'll just go, cool, that one. It's cool. Yeah. It was such a thing.
No, I get you.
This guy just pissed me off because he just wouldn't communicate and he somehow thought he was better than me.
Fuck
and I was just like, I don't know. It just was weird because I had no clue who he was. But the minute he introduced himself to me, it felt like I needed to know who he was. And I was like, and there can be situations where it's like, you should treat everyone because you never know what they're going through. You never know who you're talking to. And so it is important to treat everyone with kindness in that sense. But, like, I was just treating him with the standard amount of kindness I would treat any human being that talks to me. And he seemed to be like, this isn't enough. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
fuck you, bro. Whatever your name is, fuck you.
Yeah,
Get
it was
bent.
just this whole fucking thing, man. I was just like, why are you being such an asshole?
Seriously.
Like, don't make it complicated, dude. Like, if you want to talk to me, dude, I'll talk to you. Let's fucking talk. But don't treat me like I'm less than you because I'm doing my job, which you're also here doing your job. So how does what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It was real stupid. But man, I'm living my life. I'm doing better things, and I haven't talked to that dude in years.
Good.
Like, it was just one of those random weird situations. So yeah, advice for people: don't talk to people like they're lower than you. Like, no matter who it is, whatever your idea of
what if it's your rival, and like you're like having like a thing back to back. And it's just like, no.
Well, if you're an anime protagonist and you're talking to your rival, then yes, talk to them.
Well, I mean, like me and my friend, we get into like these like rivalries with each. Well, like we do shit together.
But they're your friends.
Yeah, but
yeah,
exactly. It's just like now.
Yeah, if you're going
bitch.
up to a stranger, some stranger, and you're just like, haha, bitch, I'm so great. It's like, what the fuck? I don't fucking know who you are. Why are you talking to me like this?
Right.
Like, I don't know your life. I'm sure you're wonderful, and I'm pretty great. I think so. Like.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So just don't do that shit, man. Just communicate, be honest, and be humble. Like, that's all it is, man. That's all you gotta do.
Humility.
Humility. So let's go to our final question now that we've had our beautiful back and forths. And I like this question. It comes from Christina Booth.
Hey, Juvia-chan.
Yes, Juvia-chan. What was your favorite and least favorite candy as a kid?
Ironically, my least favorite candy as a kid became my favorite candy as an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was candy corn because I remember as a kid. I love
candy corn.
Yeah, see, I remember as a kid. See, everyone, she's good. She's one of the good friends. She likes candy corn. So, like, I remember as a kid, I didn't like it because, like, it just tastes like wax. But then, like, I remember as an adult, I, like, tried it. and then like I finally bit into it, and then the sugar got in my mouth. I was like, oh fuck, this is good. And I just like
it's
started
good.
like going ham on like the candy corn there. So like that was my favorite. Quick question: as a feather sugar expert, does chocolate count as candy? Because I had this discussion.
Oh, definitely.
It
Definitely.
does. Okay.
Yeah.
Because someone was saying no, chocolate's chocolate, candy's candy. Like that episode of Rugrats where like it's
Well,
fucking.
I guess it depends on like, cause like a chocolate candy, there can be chocolate flavored like pastries, and that's a pastry. It's not a candy. But like a chocolate bar is a piece of candy. Like a Snickers is chocolate candy. Like most chocolate candies have a majority of chocolate in them. Like if it's fudge, that might be more of a baked good.
Ooh, fudge is good. No, I like I like Reese's peanut butter cups. I will fuck up for days. I will fuck up Reese's peanut butter cups for days.
Yes.
I guess
Reese's Pieces.
What is Reese's Pieces? That's just this M&M version of it, right?
Yeah. But
I've
like,
never
there's
had
not.
those.
They're not really M&Ms. They're just like filled with peanut butter. That's all mushy and delicious.
Okay. Well, Reese's
Oh,
peanut butter cups
Butterfinger
is good.
BBs were so good back in the day, but they don't really make those anymore.
Oh my God,
I loved those.
What does those cookie bars count as? Is that candy or cookie? You know what I'm talking
you
about?
mean like the white chocolate Hershey cookie bars?
Do you remember back in the? I think it was like. So you would probably be. Yeah, you'd be like 10 years old or something like that. They had these like little Toll House cookie bars, and like what they would do is like they would take Toll House cookie dough, and then they would make it in like they would encase it in chocolate, and they sell it as like a chocolate bar, but it was a Toll House cookie dough. But the thing, does that count as its own thing, or is that like a candy?
I would call that. I'd maybe call that candy. Maybe close.
It was just
to
cookie dough
borderline
wrapped in.
but-
Oh, what are cookie dough bites? Is that candy?
I guess yeah, cause it's
I
like.
love cookie dough bites.
Yeah, I love cookie dough bites. I think I want to say my least favorite candy was Tootsie Rolls, Twizzlers, anything not chocolatey.
Anything with fruit, I don't like.
But like Tootsie Roll were like fake chocolate. It did not taste like chocolate. It was gross. And Starburst, anything that was that weird, like Airheads, like
Starburst, but only like
yeah.
the
Back
orange
in the
ones.
day, back in the day, anything of that texture and variety, I was just like, oh, this is gross. Like nowadays, I actually am okay with like one or two strawberry Starburst, but it's very. It has to be very specific, but like, oh yeah, you can't do strawberry. But but yeah, back in the day, any of that, and honestly still today, but anything that's like chocolatey and gooey and like filled with nuts and yum, blah, 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 is my favorite. But Butterfinger BBs and Reese's Pieces are definitely like top tier for me. But they don't make Butterfinger BBs anymore, so it's just Butterfingers. But those bitches were delicious, and cookie dough bites are my
Cookie dough
go-to
bites
when
are
I go to a
freaking
movie
amazing,
theater.
and I always get those at the theater, even when it's not
Yes.
cheat day. I always get those.
For theater candies too, Snow Caps were another one of my favorites. They're like little chocolate pieces with white sprinkles on them, and they sell them there too.
What are they? So are they like? Are they like milk
They're
duds,
shaped.
but with chocolate? I mean,
No,
sprinkles on?
there's no caramel. They're shaped like a Hershey Kiss, but like a tiny baby Hershey Kiss. Like
Oh,
even
so you mean
smaller.
Hugs?
I don't think so.
Because Hugs are Hershey's Kisses, but with like white chocolate and regular
Oh no,
chocolate.
it's not white chocolate. I think it might actually be dark chocolate. They're like really, they resemble a really tiny Hershey Kiss. They aren't a Hershey Kiss, but they resemble one. And I think they're dark chocolate, and they are covered in these tiny white dot sprinkles. So they look like the top of an ice mountain, and they're called Snow Caps.
I need to see what those look like.
Oh, they're real good. You can find them at like a Dollar General or whatever if you go to like the. Oh, they're so good. And I really like those peach gummy rings. Like, I
like
Haribo
bottles. Those Haribo bottles.
Ooh.
I like those a lot because I grew up in England, so I like those a lot.
The bottles I didn't like because they were a little too weird, chewy for me. But I love gummy bears. But can you have gummy bears? Are they made of because it's all artificial fruit, right? Can you?
Yeah,
actually...
it's artificial. I don't. You know what? I haven't. I only eat gummy bears that are orange, and I've never tried it because I've just never attempted to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but it's like one of those.
But the orange gummy bears seem to be fine.
Yeah, orange gummy bears are fine.
Okay, you just haven't tried it, but that's fair.
Oh, snow caps! I've seen these before. We used to make
yeah,
these.
They're so good.
I can make like a whole batch of these. These are good.
Oh yeah, they're tasty.
Yeah,
oh my
some
gosh.
sugar.
Yeah. What was some candy that you didn't like that you still don't like?
Well, besides anything fruit, I'll just knock out all fruit stuff because that is different. But
Yeah,
let's
of
see,
course.
something I didn't like. I guess this is a chocolate bar. A Payday. I don't like anything with like.
Oh yeah.
Like what
Too
was it?
many
Was it a
nuts,
Take
man.
5 or a Payday or something? I don't know. Like
Take 5 was like chocolate with a bunch of nuts and stuff, but Payday is just nuts on nuts on nuts.
Oh yeah,
on
I didn't
nuts.
like that at all. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
like that
those
at
are
all.
too dry for me.
Yeah, that was nasty. I don't like anything. Like I like. This is good. Well, it is National Nut Day, so it's like I only like a certain amount. Like I don't really. Like Snickers I like a lot, but I don't like if it's like overly like almond butter, like almond Snickers or nuts in the chocolate. I just like regular chocolate by itself or something.
I like Hershey with almonds, but otherwise like the other ones are just too dry for me. Like a Snickers bar, I like Snickers ice cream.
Oh, Snickers ice cream's good. Twix ice cream is
yeah.
really good too.
Oh yeah, the like Snickers ice cream bars specifically.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Twix ice cream bars are fucking good.
Ooh, those are all so good because like they take that dryness, but they add that milky, creamy ice creamness to it, and so it like takes away like the element that made it too hard to eat.
Yeah, it's like easy to bite down on. They're really good.
Yes,
I like those a lot.
Oh man,
there was that fuck, I can't remember. Yeah, because like most chocolates, I really do like. I'm a chocolate fiend.
Oh, same.
Yeah. So, what else? I mean, candy wise, like, I guess like I'm so used to like differentiating chocolate and candy as a thing. Like, candy is candy and chocolate's chocolate. So it's like, she, there was this powder that you dip like a gummy thing in.
Fun dip?
Was that what it's called?
Gummy?
I don't remember. I just remember like you got like a gummy thing, and then you licked it, and then you stick it in the powder, and then like you could eat the thing. But like I remember you were supposed to lick it, and I would always just bite it off. It's like like I wasted the entire thing.
I never had one that had a gummy, but I did have one that it had kind of like a sweet tart situation that you would dip into the powder and lick it and keep doing that. But I would always bite it too.
Yeah. See, it's one of those like I don't understand why they make those for kids. Like it's just. You should put multiple versions of those in the thing because I'm not gonna like do that the entire way through. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just keep.
I'm too impatient.
Yeah.
One time, I want to tell you a funny story about Fun Dip. So you know how Fun Dip or maybe whatever you're talking about has like that flavored powder.
Yeah.
And like it's really tasty to eat. In my head, I thought that powder was similar to like Kool-Aid powder, like lemonade powder. So I thought if I got a bunch of them and dumped them in a cup of water, that it would taste like really good like sour drink.
Yeah,
like I thought that's it's a powder and it's
tang.
sweet and
it's fucking tang.
Yeah, so I thought it was the same thing, and I dumped like 10 Fun Dips into a cup of water.
Oh, God,
that cup
so
was
nasty.
really blue. It did not taste what I thought it would taste like at all.
Did you spit it out immediately, or did you like let it sit
No,
for a
it
bit?
just tasted like watered down that. It didn't taste like I thought it would. Like I mixed it up
just
real
sugar
good.
and water.
Yeah, but it like didn't even mix properly. It just tasted like a watered down sugar water. It didn't taste like any tangy, sour deliciousness like I thought it would.
Oh, that's so
I was
nasty.
really sad, and I wasted all of those Fun Dips.
Oh, dude, I understand that powder thing because I remember as a kid, like everyone liked Nesquik, but I only liked Nesquik powder because I would just eat Nesquik powder by itself.
Yes.
I
Same.
would like, get a spoon and just dip it and just like go to town.
Yes, and hot chocolate powder too.
Yes, it was so good. Like it tasted better.
Yes.
Like another thing I would do is like this is what made my mom upset, but like I used to do it. But like we were like baking cakes, and I would always just take the icing, and I would just take it and eat the icing by itself with a spoon.
Me too.
So it's just
Whenever she would,
the icing is good.
God,
Why?
Yes. Yeah, whenever she would open like a new can of icing to like put on stuff, I would just get a spoon. I'd sneak in there and like take a big gobbing spoon of the icing out to where it almost looks like just a chunk of the icing is missing from that can, and I just take it and I run.
I remember I would intentionally ask for just frosting. Like I didn't want cake or anything. I would just ask for frosting. And I would just put it and then like that was my fancy. I called it. For some reason I thought it was like the equivalent of pudding because I can't stand. I just don't like pudding texture. So I was like, oh, this is so good. Oh, this is like chocolate frosting. Oh, and then like sometimes you pour sprinkles on it just to like, I'm just. So I did that all the time.
Yes.
Oh God.
Queen.
That fucked me up.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going for a jog after I edit.
Oh,
the
yeah?
pod today. I'm going for a jog.
I'm going to do some band exercises with the resistance
And I'm just
band.
gonna dream about icing and
Yes. Frosting. Cake frosting is great.
like I'm gonna do that thing where like you're lifting weights while you're staring at a picture of a cupcake.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You know what? I found something out that low-key works for me, and I do not understand how this works, but scientifically wise. But, like, whenever I'm craving a food, like a particular food, I do not know why this works. It's so weird. I look up a mukbang of that food, and for some reason, by them eating it and me hearing them eat it, it's like I'm consuming it vicariously through them. Like, I don't understand how, but it's like my body is listening to the crunches and then like imagining the taste, and then like every time I hear like the gulp, it's like I'm filter feeding through. I don't know how it works.
That's
amazing.
Like,
and I'm just like, all right, whenever I'm craving this, it's just like, all right, watch this person. All right. Yep, it's working. All right, there we go. We're good. We're good now. It's just like Saturday, I'm gonna fuck it up. But yeah, it's weird.
Oh my god. Well, I feel like we have adequately answered all of these questions.
Yeah, we have. We
Man.
have adequately answered all of these questions. And you know where else you can adequately ask us questions?
Huh?
You can follow us on frickin' our social media. You can follow me at Jordan Jaxblade Downs on Facebook, Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter, and Jaxblade everywhere else. And you can follow my lovely co-host KaniDay at KaniDay Official on Twitter, and KaniDay Cosplay on Facebook, and KaniDay on YouTube, and KaniDay. And then your Twitch one. What's your Twitch one?
It's just KaniDay.
Yeah.
And then Groovy Productions, Dr. Crafty, etc. And you can follow us at WeirdFlexPod on Twitter and Patreon, WeirdFlex But Okay Podcast, and any other social podcast site like iTunes, Soundcloud, and of course YouTube, Weird Flex But Okay Podcast. Just look for us and join our Patreon or don't. And just another quick shout out to Joseph Andrew Grinder, Adrian Leonard, Carsonator TTV, and the main character, and Jaxblade. Thank you all so much for supporting us on Patreon. It means the world. And we're gonna keep doing cool stuff, and this was a really great episode. Like, I'm excited to listen back to this. I think we had some fun talks.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I gotta be honest, that last part was a pretty weird flex on your part.
Oh my god! No!
That. Next time, don't add the. Oh my! By the way, did you see that comment that was like, "Oh, that last part would have worked if you did put the."
It would have been so much funnier if you just take the music out. So you know what? All right, guys, we're gonna cut the music. Jordan, take it away.
Okay. Well, I just gotta say thank you all for today, and that whole thing Katy brought up, I gotta say that was a bit of a weird flex. We'll be right back after these messages.
Goodbye, everyone.
Jaxblade and Katy was filmed in front of a live studio
audience.
Rated PG-13. Thank you. I mean, TV-14.
TV-14. Go read some Doujin and watch porn. Peace out.
That's terrible. Oh, my God. All right, done. I have to pee so incredibly badly because I've been drinking out my dumbbell water bottle this entire way through, which is awesome. And so now I have to pee a lot. Give me a sec. Okay,